Hi there, beautiful souls. Thank you for watching. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. So, this one is about the White Room. There are quite a lot of people talking about the experiences during their near death experience when they kind of went through the tunnel and they went to the light. So there's this kind of white light experience in a white space or white room that's full of light. And there's also the experience of the so called void, which other people described as not being scary, but being just in the dark, and it's kind of velvety and they feel safe, but there's nothing there. It's only dark and they're alone there. And to me, that description sounds a lot like the female aspect of Source, the Godhead, the divine, like. Like a womb, a cosmic womb where everything starts. Reminds me also of the kind of Zen space the Zen guys are talking about, the nothingness or the emptiness, where everything already exists but unmanifested, just as the idea. And whatever you think in the void, it starts to manifest and you create it. So I have never been to the void, but I had this kind of clear light experience of the white room or the white space quite some time before I started my mediumship trainment. And it happened the following way. My beloved husband, the love of my life, was diagnosed with cancer. And I was just kind of struck by a sledgehammer. I didn't know what to do. I was traumatized. I could only assure him that I'm with him and I'm doing everything that's necessary, and in every way possible I wanted to help him. But it's his decision what to do and how to react to that diagnosis, and what kind of cancer treatment to do or not to do, and so on. So I was kind of desperate because I couldn't even stand the thought of losing my love, my beloved husband. And so I wanted to do everything to help him. And I even went to a spiritual healer, thinking maybe if there is something in me blocking his healing process, or maybe in our relation. So I wanted to do anything, everything that could help and heal. And I placed myself with this spiritual or spirit healer. And the woman had the idea of leading me through a guided meditation with the intent of finding maybe a course that's within me or our relationship that we could heal to better maybe his state and the cancer and everything. So I sat down with this woman and closed my eyes, and she brought me into a light trance with some music. Interestingly enough, it was Hawaiian music that she also used for the Hawaiian Lomi Lomi massage. She was also offering that. And I really love that kind of music. It's very calming and soothing and harmonic and wonderful. So I went into a light trance quite easily. And she started with the typical catatonic imagining the imagination of a meadow. And I started on this meadow, and was full of green and flowers and sunshine and warm, could hear birds and insects humming, and I could smell the grass and everything. So after a while, when she led me more deeper into the trance, I found myself in front of a ladder that was going upwards. It was like, that's funny. It was like these American rescue fire ladders that are outside on the buildings. And they have this kind of strap, a metal strap around the ladder to kind of safeguard the body who's climbing up. So I was in front of this ladder, and the funny thing is, we don't have these kinds of ladders in Germany. So I was already wondering why it had this form and appeared in that form. But of course, the task was clear in front of a ladder, so I had to climb up. And I started climbing up, and I climbed and climbed for just a while, and I felt quite good and also safe because of these metal straps around me, kind of securing my passage on this ladder upwards. And then at a special point, suddenly the ladder ended, and I could step out onto some kind of surface, like a level that I reached. And there was no more climbing up, or the ladder didn't lead up to higher places. That was it. So I stepped away from the ladder and entered this kind of level, and I couldn't see anything. It was just all white, and it looked to me with my inner eye as if there were no walls. Everything was filled with a kind of white fog that was very bright and light, and the fog was moving. And when I took a step forward, the fog, as if it is alive, was kind of moving away from me a little bit and giving me a free passage. And when I moved back, it was coming back again, filling the space I had tried to enter before. So I got the notion that some kind of living, alive, conscious fog or white mist, whatever I wanted to call that. And I could feel that I was standing on a smooth kind of stone, like polished, very smooth stone surface, but I couldn't see it, couldn't even see my feet because they were all wrapped in this white fog. There were no walls and nothing. And it was just kind of a very vast empty space that was filled with white fog. And then I suddenly felt something in my back. I already told that we made in our mediumship trainment some experiments about the radiation coming out from the chakras, and we found out that to the back sometimes you even sense and perceive more than to the front. Because you all surely know this, you walk on the street and suddenly you turn around because you you feel kind of watched, and then you see somebody leaning on the wall of a house who's just gazing and staring at you, and that was what you reacted with because you feel it in your neck. Your chakras are very sensitive also to the back. So I felt an energy, and there was someone in my back, but I couldn't turn around. I was kind of frozen, so I had to find out who that is by just sensing into the energy. And I wasn't even a medium then. I hadn't even had my medium trainment to teach me how to do that. I just did it intuitively. And then suddenly it struck me. I recognized the energy. It was my husband, my beloved love of my life, and I felt him in my back, and everything was fine and okay, and I was just happy to have met him there in this white space, whatever that was. I didn't understand it at that time. And now I do, because now he transitioned, and I think it was kind of a vision of the future that we are together, or we are able to meet in the white space, which I kind of think today now that's heaven, filled with all the light souls and all the light that are just kind of without a body and without physicality, um, floating around like white mist or like clouds or fog, something like that. So to me, that was heaven, and I met my husband in heaven. So that was okay for me after I understood it, but it took me some time, really more or less 1 or 2 years. And that was it. That was my experience with the white room, how I call it for myself, or the white space. Also backed up by others who told the same experience of the white room or the void. And I would like to add a story that I found really very fascinating of an American man who had a white light experience or the white room or white space experience. And the fascinating thing about that was the man is called, I think, Wills, Jerry, or no, Jeff or Jerry Wills. I can't remember the first name. But he's quite known in the internet because he was a well known healer, and he's on some of the spiritual channels now giving interviews. So this man traveled with his wife to Peru, and he wanted to visit this false door that's chiseled in the stone in Hayamaca. That's a plain in Peru near Lake Titicaca. And the false door is called Amarumuru, I think. I hope I didn't butcher that name. So he went there and he had contact with the local shamans and kind of brought them to teach him the sounds, how to open this false door, passage, portal, however you want to call that. And legend has it that one of the last Incan kings escaping the Spanish, who came to conquer and plunder, he had this kind of golden disc that he found in a lake and was kind of gifted from the sky or sky people or whomever or the gods. So it was a round little golden disc with a little protrusion in the middle. And in this false door that's carved out from the stone, right in the middle, there is a little inundation where this kind of protrusion from the disc exactly fitted into. And it is said that the last Incan king, with some of his people, escaped the Spanish through this false door using his kind of golden key, the disc with the protrusion, to enter into another dimension, or however you want to call that. So this man, Jerry Wills, he went to that door and he placed himself inside of that and started toning. And his wife was walking around looking at the landscape. And then suddenly, boom, he was gone. Obviously, he got the right frequency and the right tones. So, boom, he vanished. And his wife was looking and he wasn't there. Just totally gone with his body, everything. And he described his experience that he entered through this kind of door, which is a false door. And we have this concept of false doors nearly in every culture. You find it in the Hindu temples, you find it in Asian temples, you find it in South America. And you even find it in Egypt, in the hieroglyphs. Very often there are some that depict the pharaoh or some other person on these special boats for transition. And they were right directly moving towards a drawn door, a rectangle that was filled with depictions of stars. So that's very close nowadays to the word Stargate. And I think that our forefathers in the ancient cultures, they still knew about that and they knew how to get there. So Jerry Wills entered this false door, went through, and found himself in a totally white space. There was nothing, no walls. He could feel a surface where he was standing on, but I think he described it as well as being surrounded by a kind of white fog. And he felt kind of lost and didn't know what to do there, where he had just landed, more or less. So he started shouting, and he was shouting, "Hello, anybody here? Where am I? I need help to get back." And then a voice answered him and instructed him that he's not supposed to be there and how to get back. And the process of going back wasn't that easy, but he understood how it worked, because they told him it's kind of like um, in the movie of The Wizard of Oz, like Dorothy clicking her heels and saying, "I want to go home, there's no better place than home," and boom, she's there. It was more or less like that. He was instructed by the voice in the white space to focus on the outside where he had entered, so the plane in Peru, to get out. And he have to be to stick to that focus, to not get lost in this white fog that was swirling around, more or less. He described it in the end. It felt like a washing machine. He was kind of tumbling around in the white fog. And the only thing that really helped him to get out was this clear focus to get out there and get home to the plane in Peru where he started. And he really managed. He stuck with the intention, and suddenly he appeared again outside of the stone and in front of this false stone door in Peru. And his wife was surprised. "Hey, where have you been? What happened?" and so on. And this story is really a great backup to all the white room or white space experiences. And it also corroborates with mine, because some of the details he was describing I experienced as well. So by the details, I can verify special parts of the story. So I want to leave you with that. There are other dimensions and we can enter them and sound open portals. That's what I found out up to now. And I heard Jerry Wills say in one interview that he's not going to teach other people these tones and the toning method, because you're kind of responsible. If somebody goes in there and doesn't find out again, I would feel responsible, so I wouldn't do that as well. And I can understand him, and I really admire his responsibility. And I really like that he shared this experience. So, this is what I want to leave you with today. Have some fun and have sun. Sun is coming to Germany. Yoo-hoo! Whoa! Sunshine. We love it and we missed it so much. So have a sunny weekend. Blessings, love and light to you on your soul path, dear souls. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.